We're at Forbidden World Film Festival 2026, and we are talking about 1983's Conquest.
Conquest, directed by Lucio Fulci. This is genre Italian filmmaking rip-off speciality, because Italians have very interesting copyright laws.
It's that Barbarian stuff.
Yeah, basically, Conan was popular. The Italians go, we can do that, but better and worse all at the same time. So Lucio Fulci, very famous for being the Godfather of Gore, and also there is a lot of gore in this.
What other films has he done?
So Zombie 2 or Zombie Flesh Eaters. He's done Manhattan Baby. He has done a lot of Lovecraftian stuff.
Nothing I've ever heard of.
He did The Psychic I watched recently, which was very, very good. I like, which has not got a lot of gore in at all, actually, if any. It's more of like a psychological thriller, supernatural thriller thing going on, murder mystery. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You look him up and you'll find something you recognise. There's a lot of like New York Rippers, one of his, lots of Italian films. So yeah, big genre filmmaker, does a lot of stuff. He did an adaptation of The Black Cat, Edgar Allan Poe's Black Cat, which I covered as well. So I'm fairly familiar with him as a filmmaker.
Just a bit.
So with him, we've done Takashi Miike, and I put Lucio Fulci kind of as almost the opposite version of that, the Italian version of him. Both of them do a lot of films in a very short amount of time.
With a low budget.
With a low budget, with low resources, which again is a great thing. You can get your ideas out there, get your work out
Corman
there.
is renowned for that.
Fantastic.
Roger Corman is renowned for
doing it on a budget, quick, sharp, easy, get it done, get your vision out
original
there.
ideas sometimes.
But unfortunately, I think the more you put out, the quality can take a real sharp dip. So Lucio Fulci has a lot of films. Some of them are heralded. Some of them are really popular. Some of them are really not. And unfortunately, Conquest falls into the latter camp, I believe.
And I think that most of the reviewers at Forbidden World Film Festival, because whenever they do the film, they show people's letterbox reviews. Most people feel similarly to the way we do, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it might be one of the lowest rated of the weekend. Actually.
Yeah, I think it's probably on average. I think it was lower rated than Planet of the Cave Bear.
I can see why people would hate this more.
Yeah,
but I appreciate this try. This has moments that I thought were cool, but a lot of moments that were crap. Whereas Planet of the Cave Bear was Blandy McBlandtown.
It does have some. Yeah, again, that's like one level. This does have highs and lows.
Yeah.
And it has that, and then the visuals.
I think this is the biggest problem. I was going to say it is the quality.
Yes.
Apparently, this was meant to be a 4K restoration, but Ty did say at the start that he was meant to be sent, I think, the English dub.
Yes.
And he was sent the original Italian dub. So I don't know if Forbidden World's got the original visuals.
Perhaps it wasn't even a 4K restoration.
That's the thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Because when we watched Clan of the Cave Bear, I'm like, this is kind of DVD quality, I think.
Yeah, and it felt like that felt like it was recorded on a digital camera.
Yeah, that as well.
But when we watched Star Night, which is even lesser known than Conquest, that was restored, and that was great.
Yeah, it does.
And that film is literally only a few years, 2 years within each of themselves. But visually, the biggest struggle for me was literally for about genuinely 5 or 10, probably 10-15% of the movie, you could either see almost nothing or actually nothing.
It was like
really squinting and be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
It's like Spinal Tap, where they have the Stonehenge sequence and all the mist from fog rolls in, and you can't see a fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of that. And again, it's a very like what's interesting about it is it's kind of different from your average Conan the Barbarian rip-off movie. That Bad Movie Bible did a really good intro and kind of a short kind of introductory thing on why people were ripping off Conan the Barbarian and why it was so successful, and it went on for a very long time, up until the 90s and beyond. But like for me, it's a barbarian buddy cop movie.
Yeah, it's kind of an adventure movie.
Yeah,
because low-key adventure.
Because this guy has like he basically is Perseus in a sense.
He very much is.
And he's from this special island. He says, "Go out, have your adventure." He's wielding a bow and arrow. He's got the same sort of look, same sort of armor, and he's a nicey hero.
Yep.
And he meets Mace, who is this kind of
he's a
barbarian. Yeah, he's a barbarian character. Doesn't care for people. Doesn't have any friends. Likes animals. Loves animals. But doesn't really get close. Doesn't let people get close. And he's got these kind of, I think they're like wolf arms or something that are like nunchucks.
I think they're rocks, aren't they?
No, I think they were like animal arms because they're like on the poster they're like white.
I thought they were white rocks. I thought
Could be wrong.
I thought it was called mace because he's using a flail mace,
Right.
which is a handle with a chain or string and a rock on it.
No, I didn't have no, they were both the same at both ends. They were both the same thing. If you look at the poster, you can see it.
I'll look at that.
Well, you look at that poster.
No, I'm not looking at the because posters are made by artists. Okay, I haven't seen the film. Right. I'm going to look at the screenshot.
Right, you look at the screenshot.
But he's called Mace. And he's badass.
But yeah, he's a cool guy. He's he's morally grey, but he generally does the right thing, treats people well, even though he's the reluctant hero, isn't he? He doesn't want to do it, but he feels like he has to. And that's what was interesting about it. That
it's a bone stone nunchaku flail. We're
kind of all right.
We're
all correct.
We're like, no, it's made of stone. No, it's white. No, it's like nunchuck kind of. No, it's a mace flail. It's all of them.
It's
literally all of them.
There we go.
A stone chuck or bone nunchuck. So it is a stone or a nunchuck.
Or bones or something. Right. We got it. We got there.
Ew.
So yeah, and they meet up, and there's this evil sorceress who sees a vision of this Perseus-like character. I think he was called Ilias. I think he was called in the film.
Good memory.
So she sees this vision. I love her design. She has this like man in the iron mask thing going on.
Golden mask.
And topless.
Basically completely naked, except a very like a triangular thing that looked quite pubic-like.
Yes.
So when she's standing there, she's this
like a Kim Kardashian merkin.
It wasn't quite that bad, but not actually that far removed. But like a quite slender woman who's completely nude, except this triangle of non-nudity and this very strong-looking golden mask, which looked quite Romanesque as well, and often had like a snake around her. And very striking,
like on the poster.
Yes, very striking.
What I do like, which is very rare for fantasy films in the 80s, is the posters match up to the visuals in the film.
I agree, and also I will say, even though she was naked the whole time, she wasn't really sexualized.
No,
which is interesting because a lot of the time, as Bad Movie Bible basically said, was there's so much misogyny, and so often are the women sexually assaulted or just made to be naked in like really in ways that are exploitative.
Yeah, unusual situation.
She was the powerful. She was. Apart from the two scenes, she's the most powerful being in the whole thing. She's the main villain, and her being nude is like her power.
Yeah,
and I think it shows like the age of the area and stuff.
Yeah.
So
the only time where I think she is a little sexualized is when she's having the visions because she's laying down and she's kind of undulating.
That's when she's especially got the snake on her.
She's got phallic imagery. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's there. It is absolutely there. And we've got this her henchman who's called Zora, this big armored dude.
Well, I don't think he was the henchman.
Okay, well, that was ally. I'd say.
I think he was the big bad above her.
Okay, cool.
That because she begged him for help. She was begged and she like prayed to him and said, "I need your ultimate evil to come in and help control this land." And then he comes in and he does more bad stuff, and then he seems to be an even bigger bad. And then when the light bow comes out, he's like, it's the best part of the whole film, in my opinion, which is literally there's going to be the big final scene, and what's her name again? Okron. Okron. So she's on the big mountain. The mace is coming at her, and then he's got the light bow.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. But he's got the light bow, and then he basically pulls the string, and then Zora and Okron see it, and Zora goes, "It's useless," and then just disappears, and it's gone for the rest of the movie. I was like, he's just like,
literally like peace out, and literally fades. It's almost like a joke. That's why it was so funny because it was like a meme or something. It was like, right, I'm out. But Perseus, because he almost dies, he gets poisoned. Some very disgusting.
Would you want to really quickly zoom through the plot?
Right.
And this will be spoilers, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it, guys. If you've seen a Barbarian movie, you've seen this. So Perseus comes up, meets Mace, they befriend each other, and then Okron needs to kill this guy because she has pictured somebody with no face killing her. So she assumes, because none of them have ever seen a bow and arrow before.
Yes.
And
which was a cool idea. idea.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and they're all after it because like, oh, this new weapon is crazy. And she assumes because it's him, he has a bow and arrow. It's the same weapon. It must be him. So she tries it, poisons him. They get attacked by various creatures and wolf men and barbarians throughout the course of the film. Mummies and
Mace has to, for almost all of it, has to continuously save Ilias.
Yes, yeah.
Until Ilias then goes away because it's too dangerous. Then he comes back to save Mace.
Yeah.
And although he doesn't really save Mace because actually Mace gets saved by dolphins.
Yeah.
Which is really random.
Yeah, he kind of like he kills the guys trying to kill Mace,
And
then the dolphins save him. But then like Perseus just pisses off. He doesn't attempt Ilias. Sorry. Ilias he doesn't even attempt to dive or to swim or to find him.
He just walks on the shore.
He's like, he's dead.
Mace is gone. And then Mace just kind of floats to the surface. And then weirdly enough, Ilias, spoiler alert, gets killed.
Killed, yeah. Head
beheaded.
Off. Yeah, head cut off. And then taken back, and she's like, she keeps like drowning in the blood. She's like, oh, this.
She like scoops brains out.
Vitality. Yeah, she has this stone dagger which she digs into the head and eats the brains. Very, very Lucio Fulci. And then Mace reluctantly kind of inherits this. Again, it's a light bow. He kind of, when he returns from his hero's journey, because he's going to go home and he hears his dad talk about men have to face evil or they'll run away from it.
Ilias powers.
Yeah, Ilias powers up, and then he stops pulling the bow without an arrow in it, and it creates a light.
It's very Kid Icarus from the video games. If you've played Super Smash Bros, you probably know from him, or the Kid Icarus games, where you fire a bow and you can bend it and stuff, and it hones in on people.
Yeah, even Danielle Moonstar from X-Men has a similar thing, like an energy bow kind of thing going on. But so he does that again. Is killed, and then Mace kind of just all of a sudden appears and brings the, like very much like Thor bringing his hammer back to him, just kind of brings it and then just absolutely obliterates everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah, and we see Okron without her mask on, and which is like a mummified kind of ugly thing. Yeah, and then she dies, and then
turns into a wolf, and then runs away.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird.
She turns to a wolf and then joins up with his other wolf.
More bloody wolves.
There's wolves in almost every one of these
films have something to do with wolves.
Yeah.
Some like dark wolf, and I'm sure we'll talk about that sooner or later. But I thought that was because another wolf turns up as well.
She's a very happy dog.
Yeah, and then they just kind of like
run off into this.
I'm like, is she dead? Has she escaped? Has she now
was she cursed?
Been reborn? Is this like a reincarnation thing? Is she going to start? She's been the most evil.
It's for Conquest 2, the Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
The Revenge of Mace. Again.
Yes. Well, I think we've had our fill of Fulci. I think this
has not convinced me to watch more Fulci.
No, fair enough.
I'll say with this film, I went in and you gave me a small brief on it, and I was quite excited because I was like, right, when it first starts, there's like this big scene that happens. Some guy gets his head like flayed.
Yeah,
his head, and then the brains are out.
Yeah,
and I was like, this is really cool. Then there's a pretty horrendous scene, which is a woman gets grabbed by the legs and pulled and ripped in half.
Oh yeah.
And fortunately, the downstairs region, it's not too graphic. It does look a bit shit, but it still is gory.
They kind of don't they don't make it a sex thing,
which is thank God, because that is, I know that happens like Terrifier, and I'm not interested by that.
Oh, there's other films too.
Yeah, but like you see this woman get ripped in half, and I was like, holy shit! And then her head their brain gets eaten, that guy gets flayed, and I was like, okay, I'm in for a really over the top, crazy gore fest. And then there's not really any other gory scenes.
No, it's weird because when I watched The Sidekick, I was surprised how little gore there was at all, if any. And then this is kind of like when you watch something like Zombie 2 or Zombie Flesh Eaters or any of his Lovecraftian stuff, it is chock-a-block gore. It is chock-a-block.
That's what I expected.
You can't move for it. Like The Beyond is like a real, like you see a child's head get like from here just completely fucking blown off.
Yeah.
You see some woman gets acid accidentally poured on her face and you see it melt. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But it is, it's chock-a-block. This is kind of a halfway house. You're still getting some of it. Like you get it here and there, some of the uber gore stuff, but it's like Brotherhood of the Wolf. It's very few and far between.
I wouldn't have made that comparison.
Just not in comparison to the films being similar.
Sprinkled in.
What I mean is those martial arts scenes
Okay, right.
In comparison to that, so the gore pops up here and there, but it's not as close.
Yeah, it's kind of
together.
twice at the start and then 1, 2 thirds through. And
exactly. It's sporadic. There's no rhyme or reason to it, and you kind of want more of it because of that. That's the other reason.
I was going into this. I was like, I can't see very much. The plot is crap. I don't care about the characters. The base is cool.
Quality of the film shit.
Yeah, and I was like, so all I'm in for is just over the top, like 80s style gore, because I like that kind of stuff, especially when it's really different and isn't afraid to hold back, which I think a lot of European films do that.
Yeah, they go for it. They really go for it.
And it let me down.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, visually it's got some cool parts, but you can't see a fucking thing.
And I said,
middle was
cool. So there will be a film we'll talk about later where I think a bad dub can be beneficial to a film sometimes, and it can make it more entertaining, and you can enjoy it in isolation, which I've said before. And I think this needed the bad dub.
Yeah, because it's in Italian with subtitles.
Yes, exactly. So subtitles, it takes itself so seriously.
It does.
And it just needed to have a bit more humour, a bit more silliness, and a bit more like tongue-in-cheekness, I think. And if there was a bad dub on top of it, again, I don't think it would fix the film entirely. It'd still be the same film.
Yeah.
But there'd be a level of fun and, frivolity that it wouldn't have had because it was just the subtitle version.
This feels very half-cooked. This feels like about 40% of the film is just random filler.
Yeah.
Not random, it's just filler that doesn't add anything and is really boring. And if they've just ramped up the gore, there was quite a few fight scenes where I was like, this is where the gore's going to happen. And then it was just like, stab. The arrow gets shot in. Hitting the head with something, fall to the ground. I'm like, I've seen this in like every film ever. I was expecting something a bit more from that first scene. It kind of raised it and then just never hit that again.
Never reached the heights.
Yeah.
But I can understand why you wouldn't want to see more Fulci after this. It's definitely not one of his best.
No.
I think I've seen worse. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's maybe him trying something different, because a lot of the other stuff he does do is more horror based, more giallo based, more Lovecraftian based, more Edgar Allan Poe based. There's more of that kind of. That's more of his bag, I think, and that's the stuff he tends to be more successful at. And those are the ones people talk about. They don't talk about Conquest all that much.
No, it is. I would say Cloud of the Cave was my least favourite film of the whole festival because, again, I don't think there's any redeeming qualities of that. Go check out our review of that. But I think that this is pretty close of just unenjoyment.
Yeah.
It was just...
I'm with you on that.
It just wasn't that fun. It wasn't that good. There wasn't that much. It was really probably... You could condense all the best bits about this film into probably a 5-minute YouTube clip.
Yeah.
And that's just it was annoyingly because it had potential.
Yeah,
that's probably the most frustrating part.
Yeah, I don't think the plot and the scripting. I don't think was necessarily bad. It wasn't groundbreaking or but it did what it needed to do plot wise for me. But it just I
didn't hate it. I just didn't really like it.
Yeah, just like
it kind of fizzled.
Yeah, and there are elements I like. There's visual elements. There's stuff that I could get into.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't come together as a whole. And it didn't conquer anything.
Yeah, the middle hour.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah, I was again like my lull in these full days. My lull is either halfway through the second film or like the beginning of the third film.
Yeah,
that's when I'm kind of like a bit all over the shop. So I'll have some sugar or a drink or something. But I was really feeling it.
It was very dark as well. So I was at the cinema and I was like, even my eyes are starting to go, and I was like, okay, I can barely see anything in the film, and it's really, really dark, and it's really boring.
Yeah.
So
pretty much.
So that's Conquest, I think. So the reminder wrap up. We are doing Forbidden Wars Film Festival 2026. We are reviewing every single movie except Dragon Slayer, because that's in Disney discussions, link in the description, and Hercules Returns. We just need a break.
Yeah.
But we're reviewing every single other film. They are either on the feed of Genuine Chit Chat or Spider-Dan and the Secret Boars. Links will be in the description, but we're doing back and forth kind of things with that. There's also interviews that you'll get to find. There's video versions on YouTube. There's clips on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as well. And there's also the audio versions on Spotify and all the usual podcast apps.
Comment, tell us what you thought of the films. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us Mike's wrong. Tell us I'm wrong.
Just say Mike's wrong.
Yeah, just say Mike's wrong. That could be your comment. Mike's wrong.
Yep.
Good. Job done. interact with us. Let's see what happens. Let's start the conversation.
Follow Forbidden World.
Follow Forbidden World.
Tell them that you've been listening to our reviews, you've been enjoying it.
Tell them the kind of films you want. Tell them the kind of films you don't want. Tell them the theme you want for next year.
Yes, please.
Yeah, put some ideas out there. Put some feelers out there. What would make you come to the festival?
Yes.
What would make you give it a go?
In Bristol around April, May time, but that'll be when it is. And if you do, come say hi. I think that's pretty much everything. But yeah, tell Forbidden World what you thought. Like, share, all that usual stuff. Subscribe to both our feeds. And we've got a couple more reviews to do, so we'll speak to you very soon.